Good morning, everybody. It's me, Jeremy, bringing you my week 11 update of my little utopia, back to Eden, straw bale, raised bed, tower garden combination. So let's get started. It's a little earlier than normal. I apologize tremendously for the dog barking in the background. It's our neighbor's annoying dog that just will not stop. Anyway, let's come through here and see what we got going. Oh, this is not good at all. Look at all these snails. Snails leaving bacteria all over everything, chewing everything up. No good. But it's all good, because they're not destroying anything, obviously. Got some great sugar snaps. Tomatoes are coming along nicely in here. Thai basil. Some bush beans that I picked yesterday, but there's still, a couple little ones hanging in there. Quite a few of these. I don't know what kind of weeds these are, but they're prolific in my garden, and they just non-stop. I pull them out every now and then. I haven't really done much to maintain this. Come through here and harvest a little here and there. Got a red cabbage in there, also a yellow cabbage starting to head up there. Some beets. I took some of the greens off of that yesterday and made a big smoothie. Got more onions coming through. Been harvesting the chives off of there. Finally getting some flowers. Finally, show you what I'm talking about. Very nice. So that's the one thing I lacked last year, was a lot of floral stuff to attract pollinators and make it a lot prettier. But it's obvious, that around the edges of these things, flowers are coming in, really doing well. Over there in my little vegetal lot, I was showing you guys in the last video that I was having a little bit of infestation. I think these are black-eyed peas, not northern beans. Easy to get confused when you have never grown any of this stuff before. But so I pulled them out of here, basically the ones that were showing that. Oh, there's another one. I'll probably pull that one out. Do that right now. Pulls out of there very easily. Nice big taproot. And what I'll do in a little while is go and rinse that off. And I replanted them here. I don't know if they're going to come back or not, because the root is so mature already. I might have shocked it by doing that. And you know what? I'm just going to plant it right now. Get down here. Oop. That's probably not a good spot. See if I can find some better decomposed area over here. Here possibly. Yeah, there we go. Start to dig down. There was no dirt here before. This is all essentially decomposed. That's about the layer right there to the natural soil. Dig a nice little hole in there. Because it's a taproot, you want to go a little bit deeper. Oops. Weeds hanging on for dear life. I'll put that in there. Try to do this one-handed. Not get too much wood chips down in there. The native soil that used to be wood chips, that's decomposed down. Just put a little bit around there to retain that water moisture. And that's replanted. Go ahead and pluck that one bean off there, and we'll see if they come back. Got a whole bunch of these radishes that are seeding, and it doesn't seem to be hurting too much. Oh, look, some kind of little stink bug. There's a few tomatoes in here. These are seeds that I got from M.I. Gardener, who's a YouTube channel that I just love. He's one of the more popular ones for raised bed planting and things like that. Very knowledgeable guy. And all of his seeds in his store are 99 cents. And they're mostly, you know, from his garden or gotten from somewhere else. And I'm not real sure about that, but really nice stuff. You know, it seems to be healthy and very viable. So I'll be ordering more stuff from him in the future. These lettuce seeds are starting to turn and go from flower into senescence stage, which is essentially death. And what a plant does is it goes to flower, it fruits. Sometimes it doesn't fruit, it just puts a flower out, and after that it basically dies. But before it does that, it'll produce seeds, and the seeds, you know, will naturally fall off and repropagate itself and self-seed itself. So pretty cool the way nature works when you look at things from life to death stage. So when these dry out, I'll go through and harvest the seeds out of them. Let me see if I can show you. Well, pulled a little too much off there. No big deal though. See, like one of these brown ones? Just get rid of the brown one. I'm going to show you each seed pod. Get a ton of seeds out of one seed pod. I'm just rubbing that between my fingers. And each one of those will produce a brand new lettuce plant. So it's obvious how many seeds I'll have to save once all these brown up and tell me they're ready. This one happened to be ready. Well, just sprinkle it back in there, and we'll see if any of it comes up. Well, the herb garden's doing well. Sage is coming back in droves. That's nice. Got some of this cilantro on the bottom. It looks like it's going to seed as well, so that'll be nice. Coriander, when it goes to seed, you can use the seeds as a spice, or you can pick it when it's young and eat some fresh cilantro. Very good stuff. Yummy. Moving over to my tomatoes. Not too shabby. I went through here yesterday and just tickled the flowers, and it encourages them to pollinate. They're open pollinated. I think in the last video I said self-pollinating, but that doesn't make much sense at all. It's not like they have fingers and they can be like, oh, I'm gonna just pollinate myself. Humans are usually good at that. So they're open pollinated. Well, that's an interesting looking bug. Oh, it flew away. We got some of these blushing up, getting ready to produce. I picked a couple of little San Marzanos yesterday, along with another handful of green beans. But these tomatoes are looking really good. So yeah, we're gonna have no lack of great tomatoes. I'm just moving along here slowly and showing you how well they're producing. And I mean, even this stuff that's in the shade back there is producing nicely. These hybrids, they always, you know, are very impressive. You might get, you know, close to a pound for each tomato there. Very nice to look at and to know I'll be eating from them. So yeah, these tomatoes are doing really well. It's the other side. There's more back there. My yellow bell indeterminates, I'm not too worried about it because there's at least one healthy plant here. I've had a couple of them die back on me, which is no big deal. You know, if anything, they drop their little tomatoes early down there. And it is quite possible that they'll seed and resprout and grow fresh ones. I'm not sure what this is. This is probably some kind of cherry tomato, or it could quite possibly just be a really fertile yellow bell that I just showed you. Got a ton of flowers on it. So give them a little tickle. Hey, wake up guys, it's time to produce. And hopefully you'll get a whole handful of fruit off of that. It'd be nice. Anyway, got my first one coming up to the top of the fence here. Done a pretty good job of weaving things inside and out without doing too much damage. Snapped a couple of them. Like this one, I'll wait until it goes up to the next link there. Everything's looking great. Came through here yesterday and trimmed back some of the pumpkin leaves that were showing death. You know, they're kind of spiky, so I used a pruning, just basic bypass pruner. But get rid of the ugly stuff. Looks like I got some cherry tomatoes here. That'll be interesting. Not sure which variety. We got all that stuff marked down inside, but yeah, week 11 update. Most impressive thing to me, I think, is these flowers that are coming out of everywhere. Even inside some of these raised beds, they're coming up. I planted zinnias, marigolds, all kinds of stuff, but we'll see what actually produces. I'm not even sure what kind these are, but I have a feeling they look kind of like that one. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Still no pumpkins that want to hang on. I self-pollinated a couple of them, but more than anything, I think it's just a nice little cover. Sorry about the glare. Nice little cover for the surrounding area. So it definitely helps fill this place in. Looks messy and crazy to the untrained eye, and it is somewhat chaotic. But like I've said before, you know, you become a steward to nature and you realize you don't need to plant in rows. You don't need to do single crops. Doing polyculture, permaculture methods helps you be as productive as possible. And it's also inviting to, you know, pollinators and the birds, you know, hang out, and if they eat a few of my tomatoes, no big deal. They're just thirsty. So yeah, that's my week 11 update. Looking really good. Not too much maintenance involved. Just have to spend a little time with your food, and your food will repay you in abundance. And the effort I put into this is not nearly as much work as what this stuff does for me and returns tenfold. So I think that's what it's all about. You know, I don't spray this, I don't put any pesticides. I may come through and put some 10-10-10 fertilizer on it once or twice in its whole growing stage, just to remind it that, you know, I'm here for it. But other than that, it's mostly organic. It's all just water fed, and it's doing great. No complaints. Hope y'all are having a good time out there and possibly learning something from my videos. If so, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. And I read all the comments, so and they're not that many. I've got maybe a dozen subscribers on my page right now, but hopefully that'll change soon when the look and feel of this channel changes. As soon as we are able to sell our house, we're doing another showing this morning, and the people that came by yesterday to look at our home, funny story real quick, they, you know, my car is broken down right now and I'm waiting on some parts to arrive, so I was here. Typically I'll take off and make myself scars, but so being here, I minded my own business and hung out in the backyard with the dogs and tinkered in the garden a little bit, and eventually, you know, our paths crossed and we got to talking about this garden, and they were very impressed and curious about how I got everything going, and surprised you know, when I told them how easy it was and the few steps I took to get it started, and they're interested in doing that for themselves. They probably won't buy our house. I think they were just sort of window shopping, but it's nice to be able to, you know, impart wisdom that I've learned from others, you know, on others, and keep this cycle going. It's always a nice feeling to know that you're not only helping your own family and helping yourself, but helping those around you. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. A couple little inky mushrooms here, doing their own thing. So, week 11 update. Y'all have a good one. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe, like, comment. You know the routine. Talk to you soon. Peace.